Let me tell you now how it is. I just live my life and it's bliss. Why you tryna talk your diss? People see me saying, who's this? Being cool is a talent of mine.
Hi everyone, my name is Anastazie. I'm a singer, performer, songwriter based in London. And today I'm in Hub Studios and gonna make a podcast with gorgeous Melissa Luke. And we're gonna talk about music, our journeys, life, love, business, everything. So stay tuned.
Hi guys, my name is Melissa Luke. Today I'm at Hub Studios and I'm joined by a very special guest, the lovely, beautiful, talented Anastazie.
Hi Melissa. Hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, amazing. How are you? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just excited and ready to talk.
Oh.
Ready to talk.
She's ready. She
comes
ready. She comes prepared. We love to
ready,
see
always
it.
ready. Always ready.
Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.
Obviously, this is going to be our proper first time talking.
Yeah.
It's the first time we're properly seeing each other,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And obviously, we met at a music event. So that was amazing, and we connected, and here we are.
And it was quite some time ago as well.
It was at the Blue
Marlin.
Blue Marlin. It was an amazing event. How have you been?
I've been well, just performing, making music, releasing, working, just grind never stops. But you know that.
Right, so guys, this is what I do want to say. So I actually, obviously, this is how we met. So I watched Anastazie perform on stage. I was at an event and I was really, I think you were the first performer, if I'm correct.
I was opening the
She
event.
was opening the show and she had a present. So that's
I was like, I'm here, guys. She's here.
That's it, and that's what I look for when I see people performing. Everybody's so different, but especially because you were the first person, it was like, wow, look at her kind of thing. How did you feel?
I think there's a because I perform quite a lot at this point, but there's very specific responsibility when you perform as the first one. And basically you're opening the show, you're kind of putting the energy that's gonna be there for the rest of the show.
Beautiful.
So I think I don't take it lightly, stuff like that. So I'm very much trying to be in the moment and trying to put the plank really there for other artists as well. So and I remember how we've met, and I remember literally we met one time. It was after my show. She came to me, she was like, oh, you were so good. And
I definitely knew I wanted to speak to you because I just thought, obviously, you could tell that you take your craft very seriously. It was a great performance. And so here we are.
Finally.
Now, Anastazie, for people, for the audience, for the new people, I want people to know, who is Anastazie? Tell us.
So I would say that, and we spoke about it before, that I start from the roots. I start from the background, definitely. And when I talk about myself, I definitely represent my two countries and two cultures. So Anastazie is a young woman. She's half Czech, half Armenian, very proud of her heritage, very proud of her family and cultures and backgrounds, and very much a musician from head to toes. So everything that's music related I do, I would say.
Beautiful. So you are from Czech Republic and Armenia, and that's amazing. So you grew up, was it Czech Republic?
So I grew up actually in different places. So I grew up mostly in Moscow. Fabulous. International. I grew up in Moscow, which is a very big surprise for everyone, and even not a lot of my audience or people who follow me know that. I don't know why. It's just they don't even think that it's possible. But I grew up in Moscow, and I've lived in Prague, and I've always been very much involved with Armenia as well. I would go there to see my grandma for like 3 months in summer and just spend a lot of time there as well. But most of the time I grew up in Moscow.
That's beautiful. Okay, so talk to us a bit about your experience growing up in Moscow.
Honestly, I think everyone has a very different experience growing up in general, so I can't really talk for all the people who grew up in Moscow at the same time as I did. But also I feel like I can never say anything bad about it because I went to a really good environment as a school. So I went to art school, which was full of just very artistic, talented people. And even now when I talk about like my connections with my teachers back at the time, people don't really believe it because they didn't have it. They didn't experience it themselves. Like for example, now every time I'm in Moscow, me and my classmates already for like 5-7 years old, we still go to our class teacher and we bring her flowers and we talk to her.
Oh,
and we
that's
have
so
tea.
beautiful.
Yeah, and that's very much
So
true.
you've kept a relationship.
We've kept a
long term.
relationship, yeah, and we've been there together for the better or the worse, and you know, she's been a really good support for us. And so I've had a really good journey in Moscow. I've started working as a model there. I've started working as a singer. I've started, you know, that's where I've decided to move to London to pursue my career. So that's where it all started, really.
Okay, that's great to hear a bit of background. I think it's just nice to build an idea of somebody's, you know, background growing up, to build a picture of who they are. So obviously you're a singer.
Yes, sir.
And I'm really interested, intrigued to know a bit more of how was that when did that journey start for you, the music, or when did you realize you wanted to be a singer?
Yeah. So I started singing when I was 4, actually. So that way it goes, just 20 years, not 20. Why did I just make myself older? Hold up, 18 years ago. But yeah, I just started singing when I was 4, and I've just always enjoyed it. And you know, when like little girls always wanted to be like princess when they grow up, and I would always say I want to be a singer. Even when I was like 4 or 5, and then I've joined a choir, and as a child I was just singing there, and then when I was around 12, I started singing jazz professionally.
I love jazz.
Yeah, and we spoke about it. It was like our thing. Yeah. So I got a classical jazz education in Moscow, and then I got classically trained on piano as well. So
you could play the piano professionally.
Yeah. So I play piano and play nerves. I'm joking. Just piano.
She could do it all.
She could do it all. So yeah, so I've just started singing ages ago, and then when I was around 15, I started writing texts. And I actually started as poems, really. So I just
started writing poems.
And then, in Russian, actually.
Oh, wow.
Way back, and then I've kind of managed to make those poems a lyrics, which is a very different kind of concept in general. And then when I moved to London, I've actually started releasing, like working in the studio, working as a recording artist, and releasing my own music.
I love it.
It's a life journey, really.
So that's beautiful. So it started with the poems, and you knew from a young age, I want to do music. You grew up, you know, before. Did you have the resources growing up to make you feel comfortable that this was something you can pursue?
I feel like it was way back, right? So it was quite some time ago, and the situation was very different than it is now. So obviously back then it was a bit easier because I was in art school in general. So I had a free choir in school back then where I was singing. And then, for example, like my mom's best friend from Armenia, she moved to Moscow, and she was actually a professional pianist from like orchestra in Armenia, and she started teaching me piano. So it was very much like just different resources who came into my life. But then obviously I was lucky enough to be able to go to study it properly and get education in music as well.
So you studied music, was this in Moscow?
Yeah, I studied music in Moscow, and then I moved to London and I got 2 higher degrees in music as well.
Amazing. And let's talk a bit about that. So you've now moved to London, and so
now a London girlie.
London girls.
5 years already. It's crazy.
Where are you from, Anastazie? Where are you from?
I'm from
London. In London. Where is she from?
I'm her neighbour. I'm from Southwest London.
The best!
Southwest girlies. Why are we in East right now? Please explain. Why are we in East?
No disrespect to the East people, because we are in East London. We do love you. But Southwest girlies, and you grew up in Wandsworth, didn't you? Well, you
grew up, literally grew up.
Literally neighbours.
Neighbours.
This is great.
Yeah.
Okay,
my gym's in Clapham.
Her gym's in Clapham. She's just a Southwest, she's claiming. Okay,
please don't stalk me.
No, we're not mentioning the name of the gym. This is
there's like
privacy reasons. Stay tuned for the next episode.